Setting up a retreat business can be such a fun and fulfilling venture. It can also be pretty scary. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 things you need to understand before you get started so you can make sure your retreat business is successful. Leading retreats is one of the most fun and fulfilling things that I've ever done. So what I'm going to share with you is a model that I've discovered to combine the best of retreats while also creating more stability, more monthly recurring revenues to give you that security and that basis to be able to be more creative from. So the first thing you need to understand is these 3 core components of the retreat model, the way I've designed it. There's a front end, there's a back end, and there's what I call the big back end. So the front end is where you share your initial breakthroughs, the initial ahas. It's where you enlighten people about the blind spots that they have that leads into them needing the back end. The front end is the marketing that you do, and it's like, for example, speaking is one of these strategies, right? It could also be email marketing. It could also be social media. These all lead into, this is where you give people a big aha moment. The next thing is, okay, what does this lead into? Leads into the back end. The back end that is the retreat. That's the big breakthrough experience, I'm gonna call it. And this breakthrough experience, AKA immersion, is what leads to this ongoing mastery program. And this is where the big stability and the big long-term transformations that you deliver are. Basically, your retreat is the introductory breakthrough that people need, but really the business is supported financially by this piece, monthly recurring revenues. Monthly recurring revenues are what give you that foundation, will give you that stability, will give you that base from which to then be more creative. And what I recommend is, rather than making your super exotic and changing them every time retreats here, I recommend you put those back here in the big back end. You can make this a really easy yes, get people in the room, deliver massive value, and then from there you invite people to enroll in the full journey. This is where the big transformation is. This is where the exotic events are. And this is also where you earn the big bucks. So what has to happen for this model to work is, number 1, you've got to have a good amount of lead flow. You've got to have people coming in the front door. You have to have people that are interested in this breakthrough that you're offering. The juicy outcome is the big breakthrough that people want and need. And by the way, there's a whole nother piece to this that I haven't even mentioned, which is the even bigger big back end. And that's where people work with you for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. So this is how I recommend starting a retreat business model, is looking at what is the full journey and working your way back. And by the way, a little rule of thumb in terms of pricing, this is a little advanced ninja strategy, is that generally you want this big back end to be about 4 to 5 times this piece. So if you're charging, say, $1,000 for this piece, then it might make sense to charge about $5,000 for this piece. So you might have to test and play around. But a price point that I've seen work really well here for a very juicy outcome in my space, the business space, and I've also seen it work in the personal development space, is about $2,000. And a price point that I've seen work really well over here for the big back end is about $10,000 to $12,000. So that gives you an idea of what you can do to create a retreat business. So if you found that exciting and interesting, then you are going to love my free resource, the Retreats to Riches Roadmap, which you can get at retreatstorichesroadmap.com, or just click on the link below. Enjoy.